Long distance friendships are hard, but not impossible. Let's find out how we can sustain those. Welcome back to Friendeavor, everyone. I am so thrilled that you are here. For those of you who submitted questions or topic suggestions to the Instagram poll, thank you so much. That was so cool, so neat to see some of the things that you guys want to hear talked about, and I am taking one of the suggestions and we're talking about it today, and the timing just so happens to coincide with something that's happening in my own life that fits this topic. Today we're talking about long distance friendships and how you can sustain those. Before we get into how to sustain them, just know that they are not impossible. Yes, they're difficult, but with a little bit of effort on both parties, you will have a friend no matter the distance, no matter how long you're apart, and you'll have that friend for life. My first tip for long distance friends is to regularly communicate, whether that is texting, FaceTiming, or a phone call, whatever it is, communicate at frequent intervals. Whether it's the game that I talked about a few videos ago, or you're just catching up on each other's lives, or whatever it may be, whatever fits your friendship, regularly communicate. Just a couple days ago, my best friend went back to her mission field, and it was very difficult to see her go again. Of course, it always is. But we have done this now 3 times with her specifically, and then the other 2 have gone off, and we've made it work, and we're doing great. But these are just some of the things that I've learned from having these friends who are scattered across the globe at different times of the year, and these have worked for us. This last time she went, we started a book club. So we all read the same book, and then every week we'd get on FaceTime and we would talk about it, talk about what we learned, and it was just a great way to connect on something outside of being sad that the other one wasn't there with us, and we got to learn something in the process. And since we're all at kind of like the same stage of life, it was really nice to grow in this knowledge together. So that's one way to keep that long distance friendship sustained. Another way to sustain a long distance friendship is to make plans to see one another. Now, if that is a domestic friendship that just has to be on one side of the country or the other, you have really no excuse to go see each other outside of scheduling issues, because flights are not that expensive, or a road trip or whatever. And if you really want to sustain that friendship, you will put in the time and the effort to see that person. If they're on the other side of the world, I would wait until they come back, because that's just how it is. That's just the most practical way to see one another. Now, if that friend lives abroad, like full time, that is when you need to start making long-term plans on when you will go see that person and when they will come back. But if they're just there for a short mission or something, you don't have to plan a special trip to go see them. Even though it'd be great, it'd be fun, it would be supportive, finances and resources may not allow for that. So that's totally understandable. But the key to this point is that both parties need to make an effort to see the other one. If you live 2 states away, you can road trip there or you can fly there, but the other person needs to realize that, while it might be outside of their comfort zone or whatever the case may be, they too need to make an effort to come see you. The whole point of Friendeavor is a dedicated effort. You know, the endeavor in Friendeavor is a dedicated effort. So in this case, you're making an effort, a dedicated effort, to see the person who you're trying to sustain this friendship with. Tip number 3, make the most of the time that you have together. The friend that just went back to her mission, she was here for the summer, and we spent a ton of time together. And I found myself at one point thinking, man, we're spending a lot of money going out to dinner. We are constantly going and getting coffee. Why can't we just take a break? And then I quickly realized we don't have that much time together before she goes away. It might be a little bit of a strain right now, but I need to make the most of the time that I have with her, because I won't see her for months. You don't have to go out to dinner every night. You don't have to spend money on coffee. It could be a game night. It could be sitting on the couch scrolling through Instagram. Whatever it is that means spending quality time to you and to that other person, just make sure that you are making the most of the time that you have together with that person. So those are the 3 tips I would suggest. Communicate regularly, make plans to see one another, and make the most of the time that you have with that person. Those 3 tips were more of like the positive, what you can do to sustain. This last one is more about the outlook you should have. I would think very long and hard before you complain about the amount of effort the other person is putting in. There's nothing quite as annoying as someone saying that you're not doing enough. Whether it may be right or wrong, you might not see it. Whenever someone tells you that you're not doing enough, it really makes you want to pump the brakes and not do anything at all for them. So if you find that this other person you think is not doing enough, I would, before I jumped in and say, I'm texting you all the time and you're not replying to me, I would take a step back. Whatever amount of time you think they're taking too long to sustain a friendship, give it some more time, okay? Because there's gonna come a point where you will realize, okay, that's not worth it for them at all, therefore it's not worth it to me, or they will come to realize, hey, I'm so sorry, I've not been doing my part. But before you cause that stumbling block in the road for your friendship, take a beat, take a breath, maybe stop putting in so much effort and see if they pick up the slack. Thank you so much for contributing to that Instagram poll. I will be doing more in the future. It's so fun to get insight from other people and what they want to hear. We have some fabulous content on the horizon, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. If you have not already, please follow us on Friendeavor so you can see all of our Instagram stories and posts. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video. Friendship is a journey. It's an endeavor, a dedicated effort. And I will see you next time on Friendeavor.